Hello, everybody. We have a day 7 of our virtual SYP, and today at this session we will have a second part of Originate SAC Student Activities Committee presentation. So we received a lot of questions from you, and we will try to answer today the most of them that we received from you. And as was stated in the e-notice that we sent to you yesterday, there will be awards for the questions. So please use Ask a Question tool at the bottom of the page. And we will proceed first with the questions that arrived from the form that we sent yesterday. So yesterday we could not finish the part about the student paper contests. So actually, this I will just very quickly say about the rules of the student paper contest. So there are two parts of the student paper contest. First one, that you are preparing the technical paper, and sending to jury that will judge the papers, and the 5 best papers are going to the part 2, which is actually the invitation to one of our signature conferences, just like a Eurocon, Malecon, Africon. Actually we are paying for everything, so for travel, for accommodation, for visa if needed, for food, for attendance at the conference. And then there is an oral presentation. Okay, and for example, here we have the results from the last year at Eurocon 2019, and here is the photo. So you can see me and Paul in the middle, and the winners. So the first place winner was Ariane de Vroid from KU Leuven. Second place from the Gabriela Moisako from Genova. And third place was for University of Tehran for Adfan. And for this year, we got 5 students that were selected for the finals. That was Matthias, Maxim, Mark, Naila, and Christian. And actually, here are the results. So unfortunately, the Melecon Palermo was moved to online version. So we could not actually invite them to Palermo, but this is only because of the COVID-19. So I hope that the next year it will be possible. I hope that. So those are the results. And what is the most important, that that this year we will have that this at the end of the year, like a 1st December, is a deadline for the student paper contest. So you can prepare your first technical paper. It can be based on your engineer or bachelor thesis or a master thesis, and you can submit to us. We received, if I'm not wrong, about 13 applications last year, so there is like a large chance to actually get selected to the top 5. And this is really interesting opportunity, because whatever, if you are from South Africa or if you are actually from Palermo, we will cover all of your travel expenses. So so this is a really nice opportunity, and this is our signature contest that we are holding for last, I believe, over 30 years. So please try to prepare your paper. We will be sending the e-notice about the details. of this project, of this contest. So we are looking for your applications. Okay, so this is the student paper contest. Sorry, at the screen. And I believe that we will move right now directly to the questions. So please give me a second. I will try to kill this window and add another one with the responses. Okay. Just a second. Okay, so I hide the email addresses due to the GDPR. So if you see your name here and we will read the question, that means that you are lucky and you just received the IEEE student membership for free for 2021, or the equivalent for IEEE products and services if you already renew. So we will start from the first question. So first question comes from Mahmoud Ahmad from Egypt. And the question is, what about plans in Corona times? How could the student branch manage themselves? How to rise up again? What are problems or disabled things make opening technical or non-technical chapter is hard, especially in Egypt. So about the first question, what about plans in Corona times? So for Corona times, we got this hackathon. We supported the initiative, so that was very successful one. Then we have this virtual SYP. And we are trying to do our best to be in touch with you. So we could not allow to leave like a gap, like a half year gap between our next like a face-to-face meeting or like a regionate student young professional congress or the cross-sectional congresses. So we know that everybody are or the majority are locked down, that the majority of you cannot actually attend the classes. So the classes at the universities are online, and the situation is difficult, but it will finish at some moment in the future. So we need to adapt to the current situation and actually hope to come back to normality, because I believe that everybody are lacking the physical contact and actually even being at the same room to just have like a better comfort when discussing with other people. So actually, this is really hurting our networking capabilities, but that open, for example, the opportunity that we have over 1,000 attendees at this virtual SYP, so we can share with you more information that normally you could not get in the one place for spreading info for 2 weeks. So after the VSYP, we are planning some projects, but we cannot share it yet because they are on the different stages of the preparation. But definitely after VSYP, we'll have like a week for rests, and then we'll come back to our planning. About the second. Yep,
I want to just add something. It's actually, you can still see the opportunities as student branch, because you're not the only one experiencing these times. Like we are all going through, and as student branch, actually, so by being an IEEE student branch, you still have a lot of advantages and opportunities, and you can organize the virtual events. So how to be active again? You can connect your student branch members and other people who are following your events and your universities with your virtual events. So then you'll actually never lose them. And everybody like there's so many virtual things happening these days. We are aware of that, but you can make little difference, and you have a global network behind you. So like we'll talk later, but it's not just one a single initiative. So you can find a way to make difference, and you can apply like virtual event fundings. You can organize your own international competitions and so on, and connect with other student branches. Now we are all seeing that you're very active on the chess these days, so actually you have this connection. So think about that, and you will be connected with your student branch members. And from the student activity side, your virtual activities are still we count all the virtual activities for your student branch rewards, so reports. And actually that when you organize a virtual event, they're still your active activities, and then we can count them for your student branch activities in the reports, so you can still be a student branch next year. So when you write down all these events on your student branch award reporting. But that's actually important. Use this international network for the virtual activities.
Yeah.
Thank you, Majek.
So there is also a question, how could the student branches manage themselves? Actually, the same as they were managed before, but using the virtual channels and like internal Facebook groups, Discords, this kind of technology that we have for free. How to rise up again? I believe it's the same. We just need to be more proactive within our student branches and proactively trying to target new students and actually prepare something that will be interesting for them using the technology that we have right now. Okay, and what is problem, or to say things make opening technical or non-technical chapters is hard, especially in Egypt. So in case of Egypt, I believe that the Egypt is the section that have the lowest average number of members per student branch. I believe it's like a 3 student members per student branch. And so there is some kind of delay between the sending the petition to form the student branch chapter or student branch. And then it's like 2 times per year, there is an elevation process, and if the students do not renew their membership, they actually stop getting the permission to form the student branch, because there is a requirement of 12 students, active students that have active membership, and 6 for student branch chapter. And actually there are limits like 10 students to sustain the student branch and 5 students to sustain the student branch chapter. So actually that question also can refer to the problems that we have earlier this year, that system was not working correctly and we could not approve all of the petitions that we got. But actually that was resolved. If there is anything left, that is actually discussed with the sections itself. So if you are from the student branch or if you want to form the student branch or student branch chapter, please connect with outreach to your section student representative and student activities committee chair, and they will have more info about that. If not, just send us email to region R8vSYP@ieee.org, and we will check it if there are any problems. Actually, we are getting like 50 requests per month that something is working wrong, especially the database. Actually, we put a lot of efforts to fix it, but there is still more to fix. And actually, for example, there is no single IIE student branch affinity group that have more than 0 members, and we have like 2,000 IIE student members in region. So so we're having still the problems. We're trying our best to resolve that, but it's on the IT team that is working in US. They also, first it's time consuming, and the second they have maybe not wrong, but like a different priorities for fixing those issues. So it will definitely take some time, but eventually I believe it will be solved. Okay. So next question is from Nigeria, from Umar Al Hassan Haruna. I hope everybody, my apologies if I misspell your name. I'm doing my best to say it correctly. So the question is, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected the way we conduct academic activities from face-to-face to online. This new mode of operation needs stable internet connectivity. What is the plan of the IEEE student until to ensure students from countries with poor internet resources are not left out of the IEEE event? Actually, that's really good questions according to what happened yesterday, that even that our committee members that are actually in Europe could not join with video yesterday because there was a problem with the stable internet connection. So yes, that's actually the issue, and actually the good internet connection in those times is actually uh, from something that it's optional. Now it's actually required to and become something that should be in the basket of the basic needs. I have to say. So that's actually it's actually a problem, especially if you have access to the internet and you have limited transfer. So the only way that we can help it's to have some kind online documents that you can download, not the very bandwidth consuming, but I believe that the one of the solutions is actually to get a better internet connection or find a place for at the time when you need it to actually grab it from some kind of library. If you are in the part of the world that it's like a generally a problem, and there is, for example, like a big lag because the signal needs to go through the two continents or something like that, then it's an issue, but that's not something that we can really help you with. So I for a long time got a very bad internet connection because the provider in Poland could not. It could just install it to every home around me, but not to my home. So I know how those people suffer and actually losing a lot of time and possibilities. But we, as a region SAC, we not really can do much about it than like sending you some kind of summary or this kind of the PDF. So we will discuss it at our meeting after VSYP. Simei, do you want to add something?
Well, actually, it's not just for the internet connection, but if you find out there's some challenges to do some in your society, like could be internet connection, could be an health issue, so anything to deal with from humanitarian side. So for your student branch, you can consider planning an humanitarian activity project or side project. So just be beneficial for your society. I mean, you cannot really deal with your personal internet issues, but if there's a general issue that if you can solve it with the technology that you can bring with the project, so you can actually start drafting a project about that and get funding or get support from IEEE and help your society in your community. So this actually so there are problems everywhere. I mean, generally there are problems everywhere, but these days, like all these problems, you're not alone. Okay, you don't feel alone. Even like it was a good example that we experience the same internet issues, we experience the same problems all around the world. So it's great time to connect and share experience and feel you're not alone for anything you experienced. And as IEEE, that we have solutions for the problems. Of course, we cannot provide, just like the high-speed internet everywhere, but if you have a solution with the technology, we don't know, like maybe so let's just draft something, plan a project, and try to solve it in your community. So think about then, try to see the positive side of these problems and challenges.
Yeah. So actually, from our side, it's actually opportunity because we could prepare this virtual SYP,
Yeah.
and we reach out to larger number of students that normally we would.
Yeah, there are always opportunities. Let's try to focus on the opportunities.
Okay. Okay, so the next question is from Abdullah Al Sharei from Oman. The question is, where is the next meeting of IEEE Region 8?
Where or when?
When?
Yeah.
When is the next meeting of IEEE Region 8? So that's a tricky question because so the region, like a region committee of Region 8, like all section chairs and the operation committee, like directors.
Or student branch congress. So what the question refers to?
Yeah. So we will answer three of them. So first about the regional meeting, the requirement to have two of those meetings per year, and the one in Warsaw from March was actually cancelled, and we went online. The next one, it's up to the decision of the Region 8 OPCOM, which I'm the part of, but I don't have yet any information if that will be a face-to-face meeting or that will be online, but definitely it will be held before the end of the year. About the student congress, the Region 8, big Region 8 SYP has been cancelled in August, but decision if it will be moved to the next year or there will be cross-sectional congresses is not made yet. It will depend on the current COVID situation. So definitely we will share with you the news as soon as we will get them. But for right now, we cannot answer this question because everything depends on the situation in case of the student congresses. Okay, so next question from Iran, from Ali-Reza Shefai. The question is, what plans does IEEE Region 8 Student Activities Committee have for members of countries which are which are facing economic shock, such as sanctions on the one hand and have lost their student jobs on the other hand due to the corona epidemic? So about the lost jobs, we can't do much. However, on the other side, so the first part of the question, what are our plans? So actually, we are discussing. So there are two things involved. So first things are the sanctions, and the sanctions are actually based on the OFEC committee of US government, because IEEE is US-based organization in New York, and they must follow the US government rules, and there is OFAC department that is actually responsible for sanctions. And IEEE made an agreement with OFEC that, for example, the only organization unit in Iran can be a section. So actually we cannot start the student branches, but we can give like a small awards without any problem. And also we can pay for your travel in Iran to, for example, student paper contest to Europe or to North Africa or whatever, it will happen. And about the about the economic shock, especially the currency exchange drop. This is the thing that we are discussing right now. I cannot tell you any details if even if that there will be some steps, because the cost of the membership is set by IEEE Board of Directors, if I'm not wrong. So all the students have the same fee all around the world, excluding the US, because they are paying for printed version of IEEE Potentials. That's actually additional, like a $4 or something like that. But the base $27, it's actually the same everywhere. So if your currency drop 4 times, that actually can be a problem. When we will have any tangible information, definitely we will share with you guys. Okay, so now the question from Turkey. Sima, you can read the name of the...
Doruk Işıklı, I cannot see from the Excel clearly. It's Doruk Işık. Yeah?
Okay, I could not spell it correctly. Thank you, Sima. Okay, so the question is, do you have more opportunity to improve the student knowledges by using online courses? So actually, there are a few possibilities. There is a CLE. I will write it in the chat. There is a IEEE CLE, Center for Leadership Excellence. Just write, guys. Just write everything in Google, and you will find it. So that's the best way to find things on the IEEE website. There is also at IEEE Explore.
And if you're a society member, some societies have their own resources, so like resource centers and so on. And there are online free courses and there are paid courses, but not high, just like very high expenses and pricing, but still like they're paid ones. And in this, and ILN.
So for leadership skills, there is a IEEE CLE, Center for Leadership Excellence, that you have training for a student branch chair, student branch treasurer, section student representative, even like a section chair or section treasurer. So you can go there. There is also IEEE Explore, when there is a 375, I believe, ebook or book classics, actually in English. So you can, as a student, you can access them for free. They are from very prestige distributors. So you can have an access like online. Also, there are some discounts on educational activities, I believe, or no, it's a communication society have their own communication trainings. But you need to check each IEEE society alone. So just check IEEE.
And with your membership, you have access to some learning, online learning. So like there's an IEEE learning network. So you can also check if you're interested in any of those courses. You can, and each society have their own resource center. Some of them has a really rich one for their technical fields, not just for students, for everyone, all IEEE members, professional students, for everyone else. So just you can just search a little bit more about these online opportunities. And the number of courses on these systems, they actually increase in last couple of months because IEEE is providing more virtual and online opportunities for its members.
Okay, so the next. Thank you, Simei. So the next question is from Indonesia. Okay.
Hi.
Hello, Region 10. From Muhammad Ammar. And is there any activities related to EMC in the IEEE student activities? Actually, there is something called IEEE EMC Society. I'm just sending the link. And you can go there and you can start a student branch chapter. And for example, invite the distinguished lecturer from EMC and get the EMC magazine. So yes, we have EMC. Also, it's a very important part of current technological preparations for actually launch the product, especially in Europe.
Mhm.
So yes, we have it. Question from Iran, from Hamid Reza Khodayu. Gathering together, making us stronger and teaching us a lot of lessons. Yes. My question is prepared in the following. It is possible to assemble young students studying in the related fields for conferences, competitions, doing projects, or sharing experiences such that they are the director of that event. I mean, they manage everything for those events by themselves. Actually, it's something that we are doing in IEEE as a student branches and as a students. So yes, so very often the students are helping the organizers, like for example, from section at the professional technical conferences to help with those conferences as a volunteers. And also you can start your own student session at this kind of conference. So it's possible. You can check it at the list of the VTOL. If you go to the IEEE VTools and choose events, you can find the conferences, even some conferences that will be held like 5 or 7 years from now, because they are prepared in advance. So yeah, you can do that. And about the competitions, you can prepare your own competition. You can get some local companies that will help you with that. So yes, definitely that all that you stated, it's something that we are um, that we are doing as a student branches, not always for like 2,000 people or 100 people, but sometimes it's like a smaller, but give you the knowledge that you need to actually move on and enter your professional life with a package of experience. Okay, the question from Sweden, Leslie Solorzano. Sometimes it seems that IEEE is only active in the US. How to find events in Europe? How can European students apply for small funding to go to the event in other countries, or funds to purchase electronic equipment for experiments or for books? Okay, so we will be quick on this one. About the books, you can go to the IEEE Explore and check for book classics. There is like over nearly 400 of them. About the funds to purchase electronic equipment, to do that, you can apply for a grant, for example, from EPICS, or there are some, I believe the Communication Society have some grants for the master thesis. If you are preparing in field of communication, you can get, and you are using one of IEEE standards, you can apply for this micro grants. It seems IEEE is only active in the US. That's not the true. There is much more. So the true is that there is much more like systemic opportunities for US, because it's US based organization, and it's much easier because it's a one language and a lot of students. But actually, in case of activities, there is I would rather say that the most activities are held in region 8 and 10 in the case of the
And
students.
9. Yeah.
And 9, yes. And to be honest, especially when we count the number of the awards that we are giving, then it looks like there is like a lot of them. How to find events in Europe? We will send it in the e-notice. There is a new Regionate website that we have all of the events in one place. Also, you can go to the IEEE Day website and check it. And also you can go to the vTools events to check that. Okay. United Kingdom, Mohan Bishwas. As a human-centered interaction PhD student, the ACM is the main body in my discipline. What does IEEE offer those in the HCI discipline? That's a tough question because it's a very specific. We are not very familiar about actually this one. So actually you need to go to the IEEE website or to the Google and write IEEE. I believe that there is a IEEE Brain initiative that could handle that. I believe there is like a very strong competition between the ACM and IEEE in US. That's something I hear about. I'm not from US, so I don't know the details, but definitely IEEE have the same fields of the interest, so you need to search it on the Google, actually. The next question from Uganda, from Vere Biel. How can students' activities be made to help more non-IEEE members appreciate the value of being a part of IEEE? Actually, by providing the quality events and services. So if you organize a good workshop that is interesting and have high technical value, actually you will the IEEE members will appreciate the value. And this is how we started our journey with IEEE, because we could network with people who were very first professional and second open to share their knowledge. So I believe that's how to handle that. Sime, do you want to add something? Yeah. Okay.
You can go ahead.
Perfect. Question from Tunisia, from Ahmed. Why IEEE SAC? So this is like a more philosophical question. So first, SAC is a Student Activities Committee, and it was set by IEEE bylaws. So this is one answer. And the second answer is that we are actually the best, and we are organizing so cool events and contests and all of the IEEE staff, and we have this energy that that we are ruling, and we are the most in the numbers. So this is why I believe that was a good answer to that question. So the next one is from Abbas from Saudi Arabia. A time ago, I did subscribe for a year, but I found that there was nothing for me as an undergraduate student. So what is in it for students? So actually, there is so many benefits and services and opportunities that it's really difficult to send it to you guys to actually share with you. So you need to find your field of interest and actually search, participate in this kind of meetings at this one, because you never know, you can get a very valuable information. You can get those ebook classics for free. You can get an access to the workshops recording. You can participate in local student branch activities. If there are no local student branch activities, actually you can start those activities and invite the companies that have some topics that are interesting for you. So not everybody will be happy from the level of the activities, but especially for IEEE, the networking is the most important one. So if there are no IEEE activities, try to start those by yourself. Go to the companies, say that you want to prepare some kind of workshop or presentation, invite them, and actually you will kickstart the activity. Okay, next question from Palestine. How can the IEEE SAC help students to get into the research fields in our region? That's a good question. So actually, Region 8 have this problem that we are so diversified that the actual programs and services and industry, it's also very distributed within the different countries. So we have IEEE Industry Initiative within the Region 8. You can check it on the Region 8 website, right? Region 8 website, IEEE and Industry Initiative. But we don't, we cannot cover alone the whole region. That's simply not impossible for us. So so we need to try in your section, but if you have any creative ideas how to do this or some kind of proposal for a program that we could kickstart in your section, just let us know and we'll try to get some funding for that initiative.
There are some sections they have their own relevant activities. So, like as section or student branch, you're free to organize if there is a need in your society and in your section. So you can lead this initiative and bring the idea. So there's so many best practices started like this way. So if you have any question, if you identify a need, so you can just make it in your section, and if it's needed, so you can cooperate with IEEE Region 8. Right, Magic?
Yeah, definitely. So the next question is from Danielle from Iran. What is the plan of the Student Activities Committee to increase competition, I believe number of competitions in Region 8? So we had this, the hackathon, now we have the virtual SYP and we are preparing other opportunities for you guys, so stay tuned. Second, what is the program Student Activities Committee to increase the number of IEEE students in Region 8? So actually we are organizing this virtual SYP. We are reaching out to the section student representatives and student activities chair in the regions. And we are trying to encourage them to prepare IEEE activities, even at those COVID times. And also we are advertising all of the possibilities and contests that we have. So that's the mainly way that we are working on that. The next one is from Vasiliki from Greece. There are a lot of them. Does IEEE offer any resources, workshop articles for electrical engineering and computer science? Ethics matters. Yes, there is a IEEE Ethics Committee, right, in Google, IEEE Ethics Committee, and they have the resources. Also, there is a Code of Ethics of IEEE, so try that. Does IEEE has any column website service dedicated to advertising electrical engineering and computer science students and young adults on their studies? How to study engineering more effectively? How to combat mental health issues in school and early years in careers, such as low esteem, stress, etc. Or maybe the first step, such as they should follow a research industry job according to personality, interests, and skills, how to purchase such one. That's a very complicated question. I believe there is the whole area of the psychology and sociology that you can find many articles on that on the internet. There is a IEEE Society for
SSIT, social impact.
yes, exactly. So you can find there. Also about the column website, there is IEEE potentials available that you can read it for free. It's sent to all of the members. And there is, like you mentioned, a lot of very important but topics that comes with the advancement in technology, but I'm not quite sure. You just need to find it. We are not familiar with every content that IEEE have because it's generated so quickly in such volumes that it's really difficult to us to follow. The question from Tunisia. What is the main mission of the Student Activities Committee towards the Member Geographic Activities Committee? So actually, I'm from the Region 8 SAC, but I'm also the part of the Region 8 MGA SAC. The CMA, it's a part of the region, the MGA SAC, but she's a ex officio member of the Region 8 SAC. So it's like it goes, intercepts, interact with between those committees. So actually we are saying what was done bad, what we can improve, and the MGA SAG is actually pushing the higher level of abstraction rules and services basing on what we are reporting from the regional level. So I believe that that's the main thing. Another question for Iran from Vahid. Why IEEE is weak in antennas and propagation? That's a wrong assumption. IEEE have their own IEEE societies, antenna and propagation society, I believe, and they have like a very high impact factor journals. So that's definitely, it's not my area, but I believe they are not so, we are not so weak in the antennas and propagation. The Uganda from Arnold. I'm a student in Uganda, but I'm originally from Malawi. I joined IEEE last year and has changed my skill for the better. So my questions was due to vast opportunities, activities, and benefits of IEEE. It is possible for me as a student to start the IEEE Malawi section because it's not there, and due to my analytical research I approve both student, universities, country, and so far for students are willing and want to kick off IEEE Malawi. Is it possible? How do I begin? Yes, you can do this. Not the section. The section you need to have subsection first and 25 higher grade members. But you can start as a student branch that then can be a part of the section. So to do this, you need to find 12 students and advisor from the university, a counselor that will help you to establish at the university. So we need to start the petition, and we can just shoot us an email to region8sac@ieee.org, and we will help you with that process. Okay, that was one, but that was just one question. Okay, Lebanon, Kinva from Lebanon. How was the COVID-19 pandemic impact your activities? What did you do to keep you and your community motivated despite the current circumstances? What are some of the lessons that you can take from this virtual experience to apply for the future activities? First, use eNotice more often. The tool that we have to share information with all of you guys, and also the student branches, you can do this. How you keep your community motivated? So it was difficult at the beginning because everybody were trying to actually act against the COVID problems, but it's much difficult. But we try to use the electronic ways of communication to actually address that. Yes. Okay, next question from Belgium, from Leonid. What do you think is the role of IEEE student in improving an engineering education with valuable feedback for improvements? Actually, it's a very country dependent and society dependent, but the collaboration with other student branches, with other students, will give you the possibility to compare the different levels of the education. So for me, the most important part of my travels for cross-sectional congresses was to get know the faculty of other countries and actually know what is on, what topics are actually hot right now in case of the technology. And this is not an easy task because the countries are very slow in changing the educational systems, and they are very often resisting it, and if they want to change, sometimes they're not changing in a good way. But this is something that needs to be done on the local regulations. But actually, you can start some activities, contests that will propagate, for example, the new technologies that are currently not of opportunities that are not currently available in your educational system. So you can do that or invite the industry for that. Question from Tunisia, from Ahrem. Did IEEE SAC has any planning to make the relation between student branches more interact and flexible between each other? So actually, we wanted to start the SSR network, and as a next step, more interaction with the student branches. But you can do this right now on your own by interacting with each other, just reaching out to each other, participating in the cross-sectional congresses, and actually making friendships and exchanging the experiences of each other. Second question, how can you make students more motivated to participate in SAC program? Motivation is always internal, so we can only inform and encourage. But if you are the thing that you can do, it's mostly on the local level. It's mostly on the local level that you can do this by, if you are a student branch chair or a member of the student branch, you can actually be proactive and invite more students and get your own initiative to do this. So from our side, we are only 13 people and we have 20,000 students. So it's not impossible for us to reach out personally to everybody. So we are basing on the mass communication tools as e-notice and also the sharing information with your section, the SSRs and the SACs in that matter. Simei, please help with this one.
The same question, you mean?
No, the name. We have Turkey again.
Oh yeah, the Semih Ufuk Güler.
Perfect, thank you. I could not read it in that way. That's the one of the drawbacks of the diversity that you are trying your best. Yeah,
we
but
all
it
have
always sounds
powers.
yeah, exactly. So it always sounds different. So question here: why IEEE did not do anything to help free software movement? I don't know that. Maybe there are some actions to do that. It's not on our level. I believe it's on the global one. But I believe there is a lot of IEEE members who are participating to using and use free software and free code. So I don't know if that's true. We need to check it. It's an interesting question.
But I just want to say something there, like there's no one magic IEEE makes everything, it's run by volunteer, it's open for suggestion, it's a beautiful structure. So if you have a suggestion, you can just and if there's a relevant technical society or working group, so this is like a student activities committee, we are your student members, we are student branches, this is like a structure. But don't hesitate to share your ideas, but don't expect IEEE, there's one magic IEEE does everything, like this, because this is run by volunteers. It's already huge. There are a lot of initiatives. So, and we are all volunteers. You're also volunteers. So it's like by positive approach. There's so many things started, many best practices started with the volunteer ideas because the structure is really open for suggestions. This is something for you to know. It sometimes encourage us, just to follow the ideas that we have and suggestions for the structure. So we shouldn't hesitate, none of you, we shouldn't hesitate to share, ask, but not just expect everything could happen itself. This is something for us to know, because this is you are the volunteer. We will lead this organization together. So it's not relevant to this question. It's actually a general approach because IEEE is beautiful because it's run by volunteers, again, beautifully. So it's like we all take initiative to lead these kind of things.
Thank you, Sime. I totally agree with you. So we are not the one simple single answer for all problems of the world, but we are doing our best in that matter. The next question from Spain, from Rafael Fernandez. Uh, which tools are available in IEEE network for finding first jobs, grants, and first professional possibilities for students? So there is something called IEEE Job Center. I believe the most job opportunities there are for US, but actually you can check for connections of your student branch, of the former student branch members, especially in Spain. Spain have a long history of volunteers. This is like an old section, and some student members already are the professionals in many of the companies, and you can reach out to your section and to different student branches. They cooperate with the industry. They have, especially in Spain, there is like a lot of technical student IEEE projects. So definitely reach out to them. Please check the IEEE Job Center. Maybe you can find something interesting there, but there is a lot of platforms, like a local national platforms, that you can find job opportunities, or you can just invite the company that you want to have a connection to giving a free speech or presentation at your student branch meeting, or organize the meeting at your faculty. This is another way that you can do this. Question from UK from Erin Nolan. What do you How do you create a sense of community around activities and events when IEEE is so big? Region 8 is so big, and the fields of robotics is so big, and therefore being meaningful amongst the noise and crowds of all must be difficult. That's the biggest challenge in Region 8, that we are so big. We have over 100 countries. Field of robotics is big, yes, but there are also like 40 other fields in addition to robotics. So, and there are sub fields of interest of robotics in any of those. So this is why we have all of those nearly 1,200 student organization units, like a student branches, student branch chapters. So what I would suggest is to, if you want, please try to start the student branch chapter for robotics and automation society, for example, and then you will get contact with the speakers, and you can invite the distinguished lecturer from the field of robotics and get the robotics magazine. So, and also participate and find the community at IEEE Collaboratech. We have the whole like a Facebook kind of tool that you can log in and find people who are interested also in robotics. So that's the opportunity. Okay, we have a Jordan from a question from Diana. Do you think that video conferences and virtual events are still effective today, as everything in life has become virtual and duplicate? Yes, so actually they are effective, but that people cannot get attention. The attention span is like a very short, and you have so many opportunities. And when the session is recorded, actually not a lot of people want to be online and be active. They just want to see the recordings, like when they will have time, after a week, after 2 weeks, after a month, or whatever they will need it to go there. So there is no urgency to actually travel to the event and listen to everything for the whole day, for like 8 hours. But right now the effectiveness is actually little dropping, but actually that's giving a chance to see all those recordings at the comfortable time. The second question is, what do you think is the best way to keep interaction between the members under the current situations? Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, and all other tools that allow you to connect. So I hope that we will come back to the normality soon again. Question from Italy, from Julia. What kind of activities would you plan in order to make IEEE student feels involved and interactive during the pandemic? Hackathons, contests, some kind of
Virtual events.
creative. Yeah.
Virtual.
Yeah,
Anything
like
virtual.
SYP that we are right
Exactly.
now. Okay, we actually set the 1 hour mark. I will try to get quickly another question. My question here is that does IEEE, question from Adam from Nigeria, does IEEE have some specific grant given for research projects to the student members? And how can we get sponsorship for organizing event and creating a local section our institution here in Congo? So first contact with us, like I've write us an email. Just give me a second, I will write it. So it's like a region 8 SAC at IEEE.org. We will help you with establishing the student branch. And with the student branch, there is also the small sponsorship, and also we can outreach to the companies. Specific grants for the research project, it depends. Many societies have different opportunities for students, so we need to check IEEE societies. There is like nearly 50 of them. And I know about the Communication Society that they are giving the grants, like a micro grants for IEEE standards, network standards related projects. Okay. I believe that we can do only one question. So this question is from UK, from Colin. I'm interested in the activities and I would like to learn more about. I will really participate in the future activities and events. I have also written an email to IEEE Student Committee for get involved in next activity. That's good. keep checking our Facebook page, our web page. Also, there is students.ieee.org website for the MGA students. So definitely keep going and try to be involved at the local level, at your student branch, or if you don't have, just be a chair of your new student branch, get your colleagues and start one. Okay, so we crossed the 1 hour mark. That the rest of we will not able to, maybe if there will be another session later this week, we will come back to those questions. Thank you guys for all those questions. If we read your question here, that means that you will receive the free student membership for 2021 or equivalent for IEEE products and services, for example, membership for the society, of course, with the student discount. So thank you guys once again. If you have any other questions or comments, just write to us to the region 8 SAC at IEEE.org. And thank you so much for all of those questions. And we are here to help you. And see you in the next session next week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. And please enjoy being a volunteer. So it's actually really beautiful to be a volunteer for for anything, but especially for IEEE. And IEEE brings a lot of opportunities for any challenges you face with. So stay connected.
Thank you, Sime. Thank you, guys.